Dracula is just like it's been like a cliche. But looking at it from a different perspective from 2020, like you look back and like in 1940s, it's really freaky. It's freaky. He's sucking blood. That's crazy weird. But like, it's a great story for a performance because there's so much character to like every single character, even if it's just like a butler. It's just like they have a little bit to play and they have a lot of like foreshadowing, and there's so much to say, like even in just like a little character.
With the 1940s radio drama, we're playing a character who's playing a character, so like characterception kind of thing. So like when we're not up at the mics trying to like say our lines and give up our character, we're trying to, recently we've been trying to build off what can our characters be doing, how can they be acting in the background kind of thing to make it so our own personal characters have different feels to them. So that's kind of how that's working out. Definitely a smaller cast than most other things I've been in. There's not as much interaction between characters, like going up to each other and like acting everything out fully. It's more of acting with your voices, which is very different than acting with with yourself, because you can't put physicality into it. It's only your voice and noises you make.
This production is very different from anything I've ever even seen because of the way it's being produced as a radio show, producing a show. It becomes hard to explain to people, and I think it's a really interesting view on not only the culture of these old radio shows, but the story itself being portrayed by the actors get to be more of themselves than a character, and I think we get to see that.
So when we first went to the cast meeting, I was told like, hey, do you want to be a girl or a boy? And after like, I've maybe been in like 5 performances where I've been straight boys. So I was like, this is my time to shine to be a girl. So I was like, yes, I want to be a girl. And then they're like, okay, great. And the script originally calls for Abraham Van Helsing. And so we're like, what's a cool, oldish name that we could use? And so we're like, Abigail, nah. Lucy, nah. Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a good one. So we decided to go with Elizabeth. As with like, is it weird that a girl's playing it? I don't think so. I think it's pretty neat. I mean, like, I think a lot of Transylvania 3, where like, it's like the girl Van Helsing. That's what I think about. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm basically Dracula's Goonie. I help him cross running water and write about his crimes as the Ripper. In Dracula, everybody kind of has, in a way, their own cast character and the way that character talks. But with Reinfeld, he's kind of, a loose gun or whatnot. He does whatever he wants. He says what he wants. He's very smart, but a lot of people don't really understand how he's smart. And so I get to be clever in odd ways. It's a lot different than doing an actual play, because an actual play, everybody's like, moving together and all together. But here we're still together, but we're still distanced enough and stuff to where it's sanitary and healthy, yeah.
It's been really strange. Like, there's no blocking, there's no walking around, there's no like, oh, I have to physically die, So it's more just a lot in your voice, a lot of strength that you have to have in your voice. So with like my vampire screams, spoiler alert, at the end, there's a lot of like deep like growls and grunts and all these weird noises that you have to make that you don't usually make in real life, because you're overdramatic, making things overdramatic and changing it up to fit a radio drama.
Sometimes it's back and forth, because depending on which part it is, like door slam, door open kind of thing. Oh, like this character just left. Oh, this character's introduced. They can start doing their lines. Or this person just left. We can start doing these lines because it wouldn't make sense if they were around. Other things like breaking of glass or screams kind of things, like they happen in the spur of the moment kind of thing. Like we shatter a glass. Oh, we have this line after the shatter of glass of 2 characters talking. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that kind of thing. So it's kind of give and take a little.
We have this thunder tube that, as the name describes, provides the thunder and wind for the show, which is pretty fun. There are a few gunshots in the show, which we emulate with a sword, because that makes sense. Another fun sound would be a rain stick. Which looks so awesome on its own. And then probably my favorite sound of this show would be these, for obvious reason. This is for actual beads. This is actually for a clock sound. And then this we are using now and then for doorknob rattles and kind of a replacement to go with some wind chimes, and it just kind of adds a weird, like, extra something that gives depth to scenes. How we found this, I have no idea. It honestly was just kind of there.
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. I mean, like, this is my first horror production, and so it's been so much fun hearing like people scream and like cry and like yell at each other. It's been great. I love it.
There's so much we can do together, and it's like been a really great bonding experience through everyone. Even if I've already had a friend in this cast, but I like making new friends, and it's been really connecting. Like having to scream in front of other people, like what the, that was a new area for me.
In general, I feel like it's a great way for people to really get out of their comfort zone and be able to talk to big audiences and talk to a lot of people that they weren't expecting for. Because when I first looked at it, I was like, nah, that's a little weird. I don't want to be up on stage like saying who knows what to a bunch of people I have no idea who they are. But like once you actually get into it, it's a lot of fun, and just being able to kind of be a goofball, and the friends you make, it's crazy how close you get.